And Gorav, gee, I mean, what's going on, mate? I mean, it's just like bring him on, isn't it? It's who's next almost, you know? It's just attacking football. Bruno looks world class again. Rashford is world class, man. No doubt about that. There's no questions on Rashford. He keeps doing it consistently. Casemiro didn't even play. You know, he's chopping that defense left, right, and center like it's, I don't know, like it's a vegetable. Do you know what I mean? But it's still producing results. You bring in Maguire. I know he's injured now. You bring in what's his name today? Lindelof.
Lindelof, yeah.
Yeah, there's a result. I mean, he's chopping that back four up all the time. The midfield is changing as well with Casemiro out. The top three change. He brings in Sancho from the dark. He turns him into a superstar almost. You know, a couple of goals now. He's the Messiah, man. Eric Ten Hag is the Messiah at the moment, mate. I mean, tell us about what's going on there, mate. And we'll open up the debate in a minute. We're gonna have to put you on the spot and ask you and let you know that we all think you're in a title race, mate. Whether you love it or not, you are in a title race, G. There's no hiding from that, mate.
What does Hash say? One game at a time.
Ah.
Yeah, I think, look, at United, we went through this whole sort of rubbish last season, and I think it was the Brentford game that sort of catalysed, the team that you see today. A lot of it is also getting rid of the sort of bad eggs that we did in terms of sort of Ronaldo, right? And I think that's brought on Bruno's game massively as well. Today, I thought, you know what, for the first 20 minutes, we were pretty poor. And I think anybody who's watched that game could turn around and say that they were going through us a little bit at will. I thought Maddison had a brilliant first 20 minutes, personally. I thought he was ripping us at one point. Ten Hag did the Ten Hag thing at half time, and he sort of got it all, moving again. Interesting to see Sancho sort of go through the middle as well. I thought that was quite cool, and it could be that's how we incorporate him. I mean, you talk about Nunes not being able to hit a barn door, but I don't think Weghorst is far behind him in terms of the amount of chances we tried to create for him today, especially towards the end of the game. It was hilarious. Rashford's in this sort of mode right now where he genuinely doesn't feel he's going to miss. And, people keep on going on about Ten Hag, but we've got a great striking coach right now as well in Benny. And Benny's come in a little bit under the radar, and he's taken on the sort of front line, and he's really got them moving. And one thing I did notice, I don't know if you saw it today as well, United mix it up. They are right on top of the players. Sabitzer was lucky to still be on the pitch, but every single player is, really up for it, and they make the pass look easy. And that's the skill, right? Like sometimes they're in a tight spot, they make those little triangles around the players, and they get out of that situation. And then it's just quality. Rashford by a toenail. If you're Harvey Barnes, you're feeling bad because you got one of your goals chalked off 3 weeks ago for a toenail, and Rashford's onside by a toenail. But we basically ripped them in the second half just down the wings. And the ball coming in was always the sort of, reverse diagonal ball back into the middle. And there's always someone there to sort of, put it in the back of the net. We'd have probably got about 6 more if we had a Haaland and instead of the Weghorst. So, yeah, United are doing really well. The culture's right at the club. I think we're looking forward to a big game next Sunday. If we can get a trophy, that galvanises again. Got Barcelona before. That was an incredible game. Anybody who watched that game, probably one of the games of the season in terms of the 2-2. Things are rosy, and De Gea's in the form of his life with the second save. I think he reminded us a bit of Gordon Banks and took us right back. So, yeah, really, really good result, and happy with all the effort the lads are putting in. All good.
It's interesting they played Weghorst in that sort of number 10 position. I would have thought someone like Anthony could have played there because you spent big bucks on him, right?
Yeah. He's injured as well, coming back from injury, and and the thing with Weghorst is it's not his goals right now that's helping United; it's his press. He presses from the front, and he's got those highest pressing stats I think in the league, and that actually puts us on the front foot quite a bit. Whatever Ten Hag's doing right now, Ten Hag ball, whatever you want to call it, it's he's a Cruyff sort of student, and he knows exactly how to play the beautiful game. So yeah,
and tell us about the butcher. He might be short, but he's been the United's best defender, right? Probably one of
Yeah, he's absolute quality, and I think his mobility, left foot, right foot, looking. I don't know if someone saw the game today, but he made one pass from defence, and it literally went out to the right wing where Sancho was or Fernandes was, and I couldn't believe it. The guy made like a 40, 50-yard ball look easy. But yeah, he's been absolute quality, and the good news is we've got two of them. We've got Martinez and we've got Varane. And that's the difference. We can chop and change, as Josh said at the start of this. Shaw had a great game again. Played really well. I thought Dalot gave us a bit of width as well. We can rest Wan-Bissaka. We rested, Casemiro. Obviously not playing this game. But yeah, it seems to be working, whatever he's doing. But I tell you, so much of this is what Chelsea unfortunately lacking. It is that intensity of the press and how we play. And no one sort of
Everyone knows what they're doing, don't they, G?
Yeah, they do. And their banks, they move in literally waves. If you watch the game, one wave goes, then the second wave goes, and the third wave goes. And it's nice to see. I mean, United have been through enough rubbish in the last few seasons, so it's nice for us to actually be able to enjoy our football and cheer on the team.
And De Gea made some crucial saves to keep the goals out.
World class. Second one, probably one of the best saves you'll see this season.
Do you think De Gea gets a lot of stick, G, undeservedly? Because every time I watch highlights of him, I don't watch all the whole 95 minutes every game United play, but it's always a world-class save in every game, mate. It's like De Gea's done it again, I mean, like, do you think he gets too much stick?
I mean, I don't know if you remember when he first came to United, he was a bit lightweight in terms of body, and Fergie sent him off to the gym sort of thing. And the second season onwards, he's probably been our player of the season for, nearly every other season. He does get a lot of stick, but then he's also got that Rick in him as well. You know what I mean? Like, he will make that mistake that you don't expect him to make. Soft hands, fumble, go through his legs or whatever. But he'll always be able to pull off these world-class saves. But he's got world-class defenders in front of him, and that's the big difference this season. We've got some, top-notch defending all the way through the line. And when you look at the spine of our team, De Gea, Martinez, Varane, Casemiro, Rashford, that's a solid spine. And that's what we build the entire team off. So I think that's where most Premier League teams would go. United probably pound for pound, the best two central defenders in the Premier League. When you put Varane and Martinez next to each other. I think De Gea gets a lot of stick. He makes some saves that he should never be able to make. It's just, but then he also lets in that odd one where you think, how the hell did you manage that? And that's a bit like Lloris actually. That he will do that as well. He'll save a couple that you don't think he should ever save.
I think the problem with these modern day keepers is, not modern day keepers, but modern day football is distribution. You've now got to have that Edison dribbling you and be able to ping it 30 yards and find your man on the wing, because this whole thing of saving saves is not enough anymore, is it? You've got to be good at corners, because Premier League's tough on you like that. And you mentioned there, De Gea came in, he was flapping all over the place, getting barged out the way, and then shot stopping is not the only quality we look for in keepers now. Distribution's a big quality as well. Leadership, he's been there about 8 years, hasn't he? He's one of the long-standing guys there, hasn't he? So. He's on big money as well. I think he's on 350. Any other questions for United, lads? We've got the fixtures up here. Any banana skins there, lads?
I think this is biggest week of football. So Barcelona. Imagine they go to Barcelona go to Old Trafford and they beat them, and then lose the final as well. So then what's going to happen to their season?
Yeah, I mean that's always potential, but we could smash Barcelona and we could win the cup, and then what's our season?
Yeah.
So
that's the biggest week. It can go either sideways or
it's
you
defining.
can go up.
Yeah, it's a big couple of weeks.
So you've got three cups week. There, G. They're all
big
cups
week.
as well. Look, no Premier League in there.
Yeah. I mean, right now, the mode we're in, we'll take anyone, and that's the thing.
Ooh.
So bring it. is how we say. I think if you watch that United game against Barcelona, I could not believe how well we attacked Barcelona. It was just insane how well we were playing at one point. Yes, we conceded 2 goals, but I tell you that Man United team went to Barcelona to win. It did not go there to sit there and park a bus or do any of those things. So
Kind of like a Champions League game, isn't it?
Yeah, well, both of them deserve to be in the Champions League. I think you'll see lesser games in the Champions League than that game that you saw, because United and Barcelona belong in the Champions League. Both clubs are incredible.
I was just going to say, G, with United, the worry is you do allow the opposition to have a couple of quality chances every game. I've seen that as a pattern, and that I think that if Ten Hag's being super critical about his own performances, he would look back and say, we can't continue to keep doing that, because we could just get a whole month where everyone puts their chances away and De Gea doesn't save every shot. So I think the worry with Manchester United, even against Barcelona, in the end there, they had a couple of chances, we saw Leicester in the beginning.
Rafinha's shot was
Rafinha, he was getting into that game. So I think the worry for United is the defense and maybe a bit soft in the middle of the park with that Casemiro there, just a little bit lightweight, because Bruno's great with the pass and move. Today, Sancho's goal, beautiful, but when you've got a real team, forget Leicester, forget some of these mid-table teams, you've got a real attacking force with a strong physical midfield. See what happens to United, because I'm looking at Liverpool's not far around the corner, which is going to be a great game going to Anfield. I don't know when you last won there. I don't know if you've got a good record there, to be honest. They normally beat you, don't they?
Not even in blue ginger when I was shouting at the guy for the penalty. If someone remembers. But yeah, I think the thing is, people forget one thing about Newcastle. They have been really good up until this game against Liverpool, right? They don't concede a lot, and they've got the sort of maverick in, Maximin, and they can cause a hell of a lot of trouble with Joe Linton, and their players are really good, really strong midfield, ironically, of what you just said as well, right? Because that's where, if it's a 1-0, for example, Newcastle will take it all day long, right? Because they want to win a cup, we want to win a cup. I think that's going to be a really interesting game. I don't think it's as clear cut as people go, oh, you know what, they've got a keeper that's not playing. Some keepers come in and they really raise their game for just that one game. And it's a cup game, it's a final. Anything can happen. And obviously Brentford has been postponed, so hopefully we won't lose 4-0. And yeah, West Ham today, I thought they weren't too bad until the result, obviously, but they played a good game. And then obviously Son came in and scored the goal that shut it all up. But there you go. United, decent. Win, draw, 2 wins. Last 4 games, 17 games unbeaten at Old Trafford. We'll take that.
Yeah, it's pretty scary, mate. Pretty scary for the rivals in the room. When United get going, you've got the money, you've got the... I'm not sure you've got the squad yet, but you've got the pull. You've got the pull factor back, the X factor. United going to the market now. People are looking at United going, do you know what? Yeah, the money is right.
Who laughed at me 2 weeks ago when I said Mbappe to United? What was Ash?
I think we all laughed at you, man.
Yeah, I don't think you'll come, man.
Well, you got Qatar in it now, so Qatar might allow
We'll
it.
go to Real Madrid.
This dirty oil money. Don't know how you lot get away with it.
Listen, you could, yeah, filthy money, mate. It's all about the clean money, isn't it, VJ? Right, lads. And finally, G, you're saying United are not in a title race. I think most of the panel disagrees with you. I think you've got to put yourself in there. I
would say I agree with Ashla. If we wait till the end of this month, we will know where we sit on this.
You just said bring on anyone. Like
they're
in the title race. They're in the title race.
I just want to win my cup. I'm like a niffler. I like my silver in the cabinet. Definitely want to win the cup first, and then we'll come back to this.
It's a big week.
Do you know what? No one wants this title. It's Arsenal fans we're on, where it's game by game. Man City don't want it, right? United fans not interested. Maybe Spurs can come in and join the party one day. Who knows?